was believed to be a back injury in college. We think it was a weightlifting, squatting incident. I had some severe spasms and was laid up for about 3 weeks. But I did make a full recovery after that. About 5 years later, developed some chronic tightness, muscle tightness and spasms that lasted to today. Boy, I'd say 30 years. I saw many specialists after the injury as part of the recovery. I saw chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, physical therapists, personal trainers, all in hopes of improving the spasms and tightness that I had probably from my mid-20s to early 30s. And never had any, it's always been a daily battle.
Mr. Davis had chronic back pain in multiple areas for decades. What caused him to finally come to Barefoot Rehab was for about 1.5 years, he was having low back spasms. Each day would range anywhere from 2 to 10 out of 10 pain on our pain scale.
In any one day, I can go from a 2 to a 10. I'd say that day I was probably a 7. Problem was I'd spend more time thinking about how I was dealing with that than thinking about my work, my family, my whatever. I'd say it took up about 70% of the daily conversations in my head. Just how am I going to get through this scenario or this job or this drive or whatever it was.
We did a consultation, did an exam. We found that the low back exam, we do this cat-cow test. We're trying to see how rounded the low back is. It was flat for 0 to 5 inches, which is about a 55% grade. And also his hip extension, getting his left hip backwards, was about 8 3/4 inches, which is like 73% function. When we diagnosed him, we said, okay, you have low-level disc inflammation with this protective spasm. Low back spasms are almost always protective for disc inflammation. The brain is trying to protect the body by causing you to not move.
I guess there was more of an emphasis on where's the pain coming from, dealing with the pain at an acute location as opposed to doing stretching or exercises or whatever. It was more directed to the site where I was having a problem for the first time. Normally it was kind of like a broad approach that I'd gotten in the past with massage or physical therapy or whatever. But this was a very focused attention to the problem area. Within a couple of treatments and then within a few weeks, I was feeling significantly better. It was a unique experience. I've never met someone who can relate with you on so many levels. Usually a practitioner is there focused on your problem area and that's it. But with Chris, I felt like everything was being looked at. My emotional situation, my personal stuff, the pain.
We also identified with David that he had an emotional contributor piece. So when he gets stressed out, he noticed that his pain would increase.
We talked a little bit about the emotional potential. A lot of people, and I'm the poster child for having stress or anxiety or emotional issues have a direct correlation with my pain. It was the first time that a professional has suggested and stressed the importance of dealing with the whole emotional part as well.
So we started treatment on his low back and got pretty significant relief. He comes in for maintenance once in a while. He's often like 80–90% better. His low back range of motion improved to 0 to 2.5 inches flat, which is an 80% grade. His left hip extension improved from 8 3/4 inches to over 12 inches, 13.5. That's over 100% function. Still, when he comes in, he notices that when he's not having a good day and he's feeling off, his pain increases. So we've talked a lot about unlayering different emotional patterns from his past. He's been meditating he always tells me how many several hundred days he's been meditating since we started. And he says that this is a huge game changer because nobody has identified that emotional piece to his pain.
I would say that an office like yours speaks to me. I'm a very touchy-feely, emotional kind of guy. And when I walked in and felt all this positive energy and people, smiling and being friendly and nice, that really resonated with me. I look forward to every visit to the office because it's always a positive experience. So the back treatments are, how do I describe them? We do a few different things. We do some stretching. We do some tissue work with the scraping, deep tissue work. It's not that painful for me, 2 or 3 on the pain scale, but I walk out of there feeling at least 100% better than I did walking in.
What most fascinates me about David is the whole holistic approach. When it comes to chronic pain, you can't cherry pick individual problems. We specialize in adhesion here, and thank goodness, adhesion is often a very neglected and huge contributor to chronic pain, but that doesn't mean we can fix somebody's repressed shame with adhesion release. They have to see the shame, see their stress, see their anxiety, and deal with that directly, because if I get stressed out and my pain increases, that's a direct correlation that this is a cause and a contributor to their pain.
If let's say I went in at a 7, I would say I'm at a 3, 2 or 3 now. I can spend more time being effective at my job. I can spend more time being there for my family. Actually, whether it's a coincidence or not, I don't think it is. I've got a much stronger relationship with my son, which has always been a challenged relationship, I would say. We've had some pretty major breakthroughs over the last few months, so I have to give a lot of credit to the clinic and to the treatments I've had.
When it comes to chronic pain, we got nails, we got screws, we got nuts, and we need the hammer and the screwdriver and the wrench for those individual problems in order to fix the house that is the body and get somebody permanent relief they deserve.
I've recommended customers, I'm a general contractor, so I come across customers who have aches and pains. I've recommended people with knee pain, a friend with some knee issues, another friend with some back problems, another friend with some shoulder problems. I know based on what they've told me about their situations, I'm confident that they'll see great results also. I wish I could share more about my experiences with, which is why I wanted to do this today, because I wanted to share my story so that more people like me could get the kind of help that I've gotten, because it's been dramatic, and I'd love to find some way to spread the word, because it's I'm a strong believer in the product.